we have had another trans shooter. This happened yesterday. Here we go. Let's take a look at it.
Can you confirm whether the suspect's a male, female? We've heard that is a transgender person. Is that something that you have in terms of information?
So what I can say right now that we have identified the person, the suspect, by a birth name. The birth name was Robert Dorgan. We have also learned that the person does go by the name of Roberta. Also uses the last name of Esposito. But again, that will be all.
So yes, it was a trans person, right? There it is. You insulted me yesterday for telling you? Well, yeah, because I thought you were just repeating some random thing that you heard. Like, I think some people shoot from the hip too early by saying that. And you know what? Maybe I spoke too soon, right? And you got this one right here, so let's take a look at it. The daughter of the Rhode Island hockey shooter reveals he was very sick. As local media reports, he was dressed like a woman. Looks like we've got yet another trans shooting. What is this here?
Shot my family. And he's dead now.
She described that shooting suspect as her father.
Man.
She came out of the police department behind me here in tears.
Yeah, I bet.
Presumably being interviewed
I would be upset
police.
too.
My father was a shooter.
Jesus Christ.
Shot my family.
That's it's really sad.
He's dead now.
What was the reasoning? Was there a family argument?
He has mental health issues.
So yes, she
Man.
goes on to describe those mental health issues a little bit more. She says that he had been struggling with mental health for quite some time. She said, quote, he was very sick.
See, this is another person that, like, if they were able to put this person in a mental institution and an insane asylum, he'd still be alive, and so would other people. Like, this is the kind of stuff that, like, I really feel like is the cruelty of this performative empathy. Is that whenever you let people like this, because, like, I mean, honestly, I mean, somebody like this, if they're actually mentally ill, like, in a lot of cases, it's not really their fault. Like, it's not really their fault. Like, they didn't do anything in a way, right? It's like it's like somebody is born with, like, one arm. Like, they didn't do that. Someone's born with a fucked up brain. They didn't really do that. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try to make the world a better place and take accountability for it and improve the situation. So they need proper care. Yeah, like proper, like, and that's the problem, is that whenever these people aren't taken care of, and I don't mean this in a bad way, I mean it in a good way. Like, this is a person that needed proper medical professional care. This is a person that needed to be treated for what was wrong with them. And the problem is that didn't happen. And when it doesn't happen, sometimes these people fly off the handle. That's it. And so anyway, natural selection, yeah, and that's the main issue. Let's be real, no one gives a fuck. I do. I give a fuck, absolutely, because these people ruin society. They ruin society. If you let these psychos run around, they will ruin everything. They will kill each other. They'll kill you. They'll destroy things. They'll cause public nuisances. They will, like, you're going to have to retard proof. Like, I want y'all to understand this. In our society, the entire society is based around catering and accommodating to the bottom 2% of people. Why do you think so many systems in our culture are different than cultures in, like, Japan or, like, Dubai, for example? The reason why is because those cultures don't cater to that bottom percent, but we do. And to the extent that your culture is built around babysitting the most brain-dead, retarded, obnoxious, aggressive, stupid, mentally ill, violent people inside of your culture, the entire culture will suffer. Everybody will suffer because of this. Everybody that goes to CVS is inconvenienced because we let a few thieves go free, so that means they have to lock up the deodorant. I think that's fucking ridiculous. It is. It's absolutely insane. Gender dysphoria was removed by an illness. Well, it doesn't matter if it was considered an illness or not, because even if it was considered an illness, this person still wouldn't have had anywhere to go if that was a problem. Like, the issue is not that it's considered an illness or not. The issue is that there are no insane asylums that we're putting these people in. It's more performative. It's a psychosis of suicidal empathy. The people that support trans are mentally stunted and can't think beyond their emotions. I think that a lot of people, again, you can support trans while at the same time realizing that some of these people are nuts. Like, that's the big issue, is that You don't have to choose one or the other. You can see a person that's acting this way, and you can see his family saying that he's mentally ill, and you can say, okay, something needs to happen here, without saying that every trans person did this, or this is some kind of problem with everybody. So let's go back over. We're going to look this here. The suspected shooter is reported as Roberta Esposito, who was wearing women's clothing to the shooting. A woman later today who went anonymous said the father shot her family and himself. And I guess this is him? Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Wow. Check the SS tattoo? Yeah, this guy, oh, by the way, no, it gets even crazier. This guy has like a tattoo of the SS, and he was a fan of Nick Fuentes. I'm telling you, like, this guy was nuts. He wanted Thomas Massey to run for president. I'm telling you, like, these people are absolute schizos. Yeah, 100%. No, I'm being real. I'll show you. We're going to look at it. Providence, Rhode Island. News station seems to back up the claims man was shot with family, was trans, saying he was dressed in women's clothing. Yep, there it is right there. And so let's go back. We'll look at a few more of these here. Mass shooting rates by demographic. Obviously, you know, we've had a lot of trans shootings. It's pretty obvious. I think people can see this. And let's go back over. 1 week after a transgender man killed 8 kids in a school, a trans father kills his child and wife at a school hockey game. We have a serious crisis on our hands. As I said, I think the reason why this problem is why it's so pronounced is the fact that it's not socially acceptable for a lot of people, and people are socially wary of saying that some of these trans people do actually have mental illnesses. Because they're worried that if they say that then people will reinterpret it and say that, oh, well, you just want to do this to all of them. Not necessarily, but some of them are fucking nuts. They're fucking nuts. And some do. Well, like, even if you want to say trans is a mental illness and they're all mentally ill, you have to acknowledge that there's clearly a gradation between trans people that talk to demons and try to, you know, like have Nazi tattoos and are talking about, take a look at this here. Read Robert Dugan's comment. He went berserk 24 hours later. So this is it right here. Keep bashing us, but do not wonder why we go berserk. So we've got somebody right here. This is a day before they went out and they did the shooting. They said, wonder why we go berserk. There is a very clear and very obvious difference between a person that is on this side of the spectrum versus some trans person that just wants to be a woman. Like, and I feel like not being able to draw that distinction, you're painting with such a broad brush that you're not really trying to solve the problem. Like, I understand that some people aren't comfortable and they don't like trans. I don't want to discuss or debate that. I don't care about what your opinion is on that. I think it's very clear that there is a subset of them, and this is a subset of everybody, but they're especially them, and the reason why is because people are afraid to call it out. They're afraid to call it out because they're afraid they'll be called transphobic for saying that some of these trans people are mentally ill, and they are. And I think that if they are, you need to treat them that way. And if you don't, it makes everything worse. It's not an opinion, it's a fact. Yes, exactly. And so the guardrails were already set up to address this, and now it's too late. It is. This is also the product of chronic hatred towards men. The feminization of society has alienated some men to the point of becoming a woman. I think that you're right about that, actually. I think that the amount of hostility and, like, animosity that's leveraged towards men and the amount of systemic and culturally acceptable, you know, basically misandry, where, like, you have all these women that are talking about how bad men are. I think a lot of men, and this is the problem, is that the men who that affects are the sensitive guys. They're sensitive, you know, trying to be, a lot of people that are like this are very, like, you know, at the beginning, right, we're very nice people, and something maybe happened to them. They're very nice, meek, good, you know, good boys, and then something happens to them that is like a radicalization moment, and then they go crazy. Right, but what good does a threat from the trans community do in protecting people from threats when they're not following through with it, but are still defending the idea because you bullied us, we decided to kill people when the gays never picked up guns? Well, I mean, I think that being gay is like, it's like, I think being trans is a lot bigger than being gay, right? I mean, like, in terms of like a lifestyle change, like, I guess that's debatable, but like, in my opinion, I think it's different. But like, when you have somebody like this, keep bashing us, but do not wonder why we go berserk. I think it's pretty obvious this person probably went on a shooting rampage because of their ideology. I think that's what happened. I don't think society is necessarily feminizing men. I don't think that it's society. I think it is society is feminizing men, but I think that it's more that it's demonizing masculinity. And in the process of demonizing masculinity, it's making certain men hate themselves. And whenever the men don't hate themselves, sometimes they hate society instead. The problem is trans is a practice of denying reality, which compounds over time. Yeah, I could see that. He shot and killed his son, ex-wife, while the other son was on the ice. Neighbors tell me that the father made the boys uncomfortable while he began transitioning 10 years ago. The son killed was to be married this summer. Man. That's really sad. That's awful. So I think their point is that the gays have been oppressed forever and that everyone on mass shootings, so the trans excuse is not an argument. I don't think it is either. I've never said it was an argument. What I'm saying is that, like, I think people are very radicalized about this topic. So, like, let me see if I can explain this in a way that's very concise and it's actually, like, well put together. I think the problem is that a lot of people are overly sensitive to the accusation that because you're trans, you're mentally ill. And I think that because of that sensitivity, people who are on the spectrum of trying to be politically correct are afraid of calling out people that are obviously mentally ill when they also are trans because they're worried that that would categorize them as the same people that they're against. I think that's what's happening. And that's the reason why this doesn't get called out and it doesn't get addressed. Does that make more sense? Maybe, like, I don't know if I'm saying it the right way, but I think that's basically it. Most of the transgender come from a place of deep-rooted abuse and trauma. I have no idea. I haven't looked into it at all. And, yeah, is there a way to go back and find out the active shooters in the past who were trans? Well, I don't know about that. I think a percentage of the trans community is mentally ill men who are doing damage to the movement. Yeah, I think that's definitely possible. And the issue is that if you can't weed out your extremists and you can't remove the extremists from your own community, you then become defined by those extremists. And I've talked about this before, but I'll say it again, is that if you can't remove extremists from your own community, you then become defined by them. Because this type of extremism is something that people see it and they're like, okay, this is fucking insane. You're correct. Statistically, every group has crazy people, but people want to pretend like their community has zero crazies. It's statistically impossible. Exactly. And also there's psychological inconsistency to these people. I think that with people like this, I bet there probably were like 50 other tells besides this person being trans that would indicate to any rational good person that they were totally out of their fucking mind. Because I bet, like, they probably acted weird at home. They probably said weird things regularly. They're probably out of their fucking mind. So I don't think that you should really think about it from just that perspective. Warning, don't read the I don't know what the hell this is. And be a trans person. You make tons of Reddit posts saying you're trans, shoots up a school a year later, kills himself in the process. Community tries to paint you as a perverted crossdresser. Yeah, because they don't want to have somebody like that like basically make their movement look bad, right? The retards in Blue Sky are in denial about trans violence. Suddenly every mass shooting perpetrator is trans. I call bullshit. Finding out the shooter in Rhode Island was a, quote, trans woman with a fucking Totenkopf SS tattoo. I am 110% sure it was some wacko who got a boob job just so they can do some heinous shit and blame trans people. I refuse to believe that it's genuine. The thing is that with a person like this, you actually should believe what they're saying. They will never believe that it's genuine. This is a person that's delusional. They're a delusional, crazy person, and they're just making this up so they can feel better about their own ideology. That's the reason why. Transgender is coping hard. Oh, let me look at it on Reddit, okay? I haven't seen this. Let's see here. Transgender. Let's see here if I can find it. Are they talking about this at all? Let's look at the recent posts. And it looks like another tragedy, another wave of blame. And so this is one that happened right now. And according to their profile, they were a Nazi and a MAGA Trumper. I think we should keep repeating that because it's pretty obvious to anyone who isn't a Nazi what the real issue was here. I think that, again, if you're a Nazi and you're like a big crazy person, that is a bad thing. It absolutely is bad. But it's also a bad thing if you're trying to pretend that you're another gender and acting crazy as well. Like, both of these things are important to consider. And also, it goes beyond that. I think that not only is this an issue, but people's fixation on trying to pretend like this isn't a problem at all is insane. Why no trans Nazis? And this is the other issue, is that this is another Reddit problem, is that a lot of people on the internet don't realize that whenever you look at an actual random person, a lot of these actual people don't have belief systems that fit inside of these nice little boxes. Like, they might believe in Nazis, but they're also trans. They might be gay, but they also, like Donald Trump or something like that. There are all kinds of people on the spectrum, and you might think that these people have, like, what you would say are, like, mutually exclusive viewpoints, but that's the thing about crazy people, is that they don't have to listen to these things. They're not making decisions the same way that you are. You might think to yourself, oh my God, but how can you believe X and also Y? Well, it's because they're fucking crazy. Like, what do you mean? This is a person that thinks they talk to demons. They think that they can talk to themselves. They're schizos. So what is this? And anyway, no such thing as mutually exclusive? I guess not. That tattoo isn't a hill I would die on. I have tattoos from just a few years ago that go against my faith now. I think the only thing the tattoo proves is that he was unhinged for a while. I don't know. I mean, again, like, I think I don't know why people are trying to play like, oh, this isn't a big deal. It's obviously a big deal that he has like a Nazi tattoo and he was talking about like, liking Nick Fuentes. But to be fair, the problem is that whenever they were talking about, let me see if I can find it. Whenever they were talking about liking Nick Fuentes, you've got to keep in mind that I think that whenever they said they liked Nick Fuentes, I don't think that they liked his political commentary. I think they were attracted to Nick Fuentes. Like, a lot of let me see if I can pull this out. And you guys can see the comments here. Nick rules. So these are the comments that this person actually made about Nick. No. You think I'm joking. Nick rules. I love Nick. Except, can Nick wear mittens? The thumbs freak me out. And yes, Nick is super hot, but he needs surgery on those goddamn thumbs. Man, how about that? Thumb wars? I told you he's a weirdo. I told you these people are nutso. They're crazy. Trans Shooter was not a Nick Fuentes fan. Robert was a supporter of Trump and a critic of Nick, whose only engagement with AF was via InfoWars. So let's see here. So this is another response they made to Nick. You're being illogical, Nick. Do better. So this is the guy that went out on the shooting telling Nick that he's being illogical. Oh my God. Man, how about that? And so anyway, due to the thumb fetish? Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. And so here's another one. Patriotism means to stand by the country. That's okay. Trump will have his own Rushmore. I call it Trumpmore. This is, again, what the shooter said. Okay, let's get another one here. And 46 House Republicans have voted against taking away staff funding. And this is some random guy. They hate Trump. Simple. This guy obviously really liked Donald Trump. And so we've got another one. Rochelle, Jews will never bow down to Christ. Candace is a medieval Jew hater, weaponizing Christianity to harm Jews. So he does Rochelle with 3 throwing up emojis. So what we have here is that, what is the implication of this? Is it that they like Candace Owens? It's possible that could be the case, definitely. Are we witnessing a crazy unicorn? No, because this is all the crazy people. Haven't you noticed this? That like all of these crazy people have totally schizo beliefs and they're completely contradictory? And why is that? Why are the crazy people having all these contradictory crazy beliefs? Oh, wait a minute. Is it because they're fucking crazy? Maybe that's the reason. They're nuts. So yes, obviously. Holy shit. And anyway, let's go back. He absolutely was a groiper. And then here's more comments. Maybe blank. Maybe Islam is right about women. Well, the goy who owns it is Jewish, so, and he's Mossad agent, thumbs down. Oh my God. So let me get this straight. All right, I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna lay it out. Okay? Just a minute. Okay. Rhode Island shooter profile. Gay. Transgender. Loves Trump. Probably a furry. Mittens comment. Sexually attracted to Nick Fuentes. Okay, what else? Oh yeah, hates Jews. Okay. Oh, Nazi tattoo. All right, engineer. Is he an engineer? Is that true? Thumb fetish. Okay. All right, next. What else? Oh, father of two. Can't forget that. All right, so, full world buffs? Yeah, think about this. What else do we have? He does weird things with animals? I haven't seen that one. Somebody says, when you click generate random character. Oh my God. Yeah, I guess so, right? And, yep, boom, all right. What the fuck is this? Hockey fan. Well, no, we already have gay. Don't worry about it. And, okay, next. Thought was 6 kid. Oh, Candace Owens Enjoyer. Yeah, let's go back. I'm gonna have to... Okay, okay, next. Let's see here. Make AI generate this. You know what? After we do the profile, I'm gonna ask AI to generate a person like this. I am. Oh, colored hair. Yes, we're absolutely gun owner. Gun owner. Second Amendment, probably Second Amendment fan. Okay. All right, let's see what else besides this. Oh, nose ring. Wait, do they have a nose ring? Wait a minute. I actually don't know that. There's no way he's got a... No, I don't see a nose ring. No nose ring. No nose ring. I'm not seeing it. Harley Davidson? We already have gay on there. As I said, it's already been covered. Next. Divorced? Is he divorced? Yeah, I thought he wasn't divorced. Infowars, yes, loves Infowars Enjoyer. Okay. Oh, transgender, just for whenever we generate it. Male to female, all right. Let's see what else besides this. Do we know his religious beliefs? We don't. We do not know at this point. Let's see here, and if I can find a few more of these. Apparently there was even a video of this person. Let's see here. Oh, I guess this is it. This is the Rhode Island shooter. His daughter said he has a mental illness and was a very sick person. His ex-wife filed for divorce, citing his gender reassignment surgery. Oh, wait a minute. Narcissistic personality disorder. Can you believe that? Big shocker, huh? Okay. All right. Yeah, no way. No way. So, conspiracy theorists. All right, let's listen to the video, okay? Here we go. Wait. He has 6 kids? Oh my God. That's a lot. I mean, really, that's a lot of... He got a lot of kids. Oh, 56 years old? Okay. Okay, got it. All right, let's watch it. I love this song. Man, like, oh yeah, wants Thomas Matt wants, for president. Okay, so there we go. That's another one right there. Give all the info to Grok. Yeah, don't worry about it. So Genophile gets off making others go along with this clearly wrong assertion. Of course, it's narcissism. See, I don't know anything about that. Transition 10 years ago. Okay, transition 10 years ago. All right. All right, we'll make that on there. Absolutely. Let me see if we can pull up some more information about this, this individual. Okay. So, we've got even more of this. Where the hell did it go? There it is. Islam, enthusiastic about Islam. Wait a minute. No, this isn't it. This is something else. No, this is just some other shooter. Okay, this is the last one. I don't know if I can find that one. And where is it here? Tweeted yesterday. Again, they literally tweeted this out yesterday that trans women are ready, or really men are ready and will go berserk. Wait. Oh my God. They replied to Alex Jones yesterday, and then they went on the shooting rampage. He said Islam might be right about women. Well, hey, you know what they say? A broken clock. Islam. Okay, all right, got it. That's transracial? Yes. Shut the fuck up, Alex. Don't be so butthurt over somebody different. Then wonder why trans people go fucking berserk. Oh boy. And there's the, there right there, you guys can see, there's the Nazi tattoo right there. And it's pretty, I think everybody kind of knows this. Yikes. Exactly. And, yep, there we go again. Not so subtle. Nope, not very subtle at all. And, oh my fucking God. I'll see if there's any more of these that are worth looking at here. Oh, we've already seen it too. I've already seen that one. Oh boy, I can't really show that. That's a little bit too low. And what is it here? I wonder if it's a BWE too. Well, I don't know about that. I have no idea. Rhode Island shooter never reacted well when I stated the truth about transgenders. Oh boy. Let me go back. I'll see if I can find some more of these that are worth looking at. And Skip, it's a weed too? Yeah, sure. And he commented on Kevin Sorbo's post yesterday. Epstein's transgender works so well, we got the Nazis doing it? I guess so. Is showing the swastika against TOS? I don't think it is, no. I don't know why it would be. And, yeah, I mean, that's just, it's a swastika. Like, that's what people, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. Enough points on the graph pointing at trans people are mentally unstable. If you really want if you want my honest opinion about this, no. I actually really don't think that that's the issue. I think that trans is a masking issue, but trans isn't a causal factor. Does that make sense? So, like here, what? No. Let me, as I said, I'm a very logical person. I'm an extremely logical person. And I want you guys to see if you can follow along with what I'm saying, okay? 99.99% of trans people don't do this. If trans was the issue, then there would be a higher percentage of them doing this. Right? I mean, right? I mean, like, I don't know really, like, that this is not, I mean, again, like, I I don't care about like what your opinion on it is, but it's just don't defend them. It's not about you're not thinking. You're not thinking. You're feeling. Think about this for a second. It's just not logical. It's not. Anyway, and would you say that they're mentally ill? Some of them are. And what I said, this is what I've said before, is that trans people that are mentally ill, I don't think get treated the same way because people are afraid of saying that they're mentally ill. That's the issue. A majority of trans people are aggressive and prone to violence, though. I don't know if I could say that. I think that you're saying like over half of them are. Like, I don't know if I'd say that for sure at all. But what I will say is that whenever one of them is like that, I think it should be treated seriously and not just ignored. That's it. Ask Grok about the real stats on trans violence. Okay. All right. Let's look at it. What percentage of trans people become mass shooters? Is this fair? In the United States. Is that it? Are violent offenders of the law. Okay. Are violent offenders of the law. Oh, also, let me ask for both, because I want to know both of these. Are violent offenders of the law. I think that's fair. So now we'll ask both questions. Yeah, and also compare these numbers with the general population. On a per capita basis. I think this is extremely fair, right? This is an extremely fair analysis. Okay, here we go. Let me do it on Gemini too. I'll make sure it's not it's not bullshit. All right, get the fuck out of here. There we go. All right. Figure it out. Do it. Do it, bitch. Gotta use extra water. Yeah, it needs a lot of extra water for this one. So be patient, okay, guys? Not that being trans means you're mentally ill, but do you think a higher percentage of mentally ill people become trans? Yes. Yes. Undeniably. Absolutely. Of course. Duh. You have to factor in whether trans can pass or not. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, like, I'm looking at, like, whether you're doing it or not. So, here we go. Transgender individuals account for fewer than 0.1% of mass shootings and represent 0.3 to 0.6%. Using conservative estimates, 3 to 4, the percentage of transgender people who become mass shooters is approximately 0.0002%, or per 2 million transgender individuals over that period. This is an upper bound estimate. So let's see here. Do you have friends in real life that are trans? I mean, not really. There are people that I've known that were trans over the years, but like right now, I'm not really. Honestly, I haven't really been hanging out with anybody, so like not right now, no. But that's, I mean, like over like historically, yes, but not right now. Keep reading. I will. Percentage of transgender people who are violent offenders in Western countries. Lifetime incarceration rates for transgender women are 21%. What? Wait, what? Like, no, I'm going to ask it to explain more of that. Swedish study found that post-1989 trans cohorts and overall conviction rates similar to cis people assigned at birth. Earlier cohorts showed higher rates. Transgender women 18 times more likely than cisgender women for violent offenses, but comparable to cisgender men. Oh, okay, so it's basically like, yeah, obviously, like, okay, that makes sense. And UK and Europe, transgender people represent 0.3% of the population, but are not overrepresented in violent crime statistics. That's in the UK. They're probably not reporting it correctly anyway. So, like, you can't really trust what they're saying one way or another, but I would generally probably agree with that. But, you know, it's like a bit of a, you know, like where it's coming from. And let's see here, if 10 to 20% of... the percentage of transgender people who are violent offenders is roughly 2 to 5% lifetime. I don't know if that's really high or not. I mean, mass shootings, let's see here. Transgender rate, 0.2 or 0.3. So it is a higher rate. It's undeniably a higher rate. Transgender individuals will have a lower per capita rate. They are underrepresented in mass shootings relative to their population share. This could also be, you know, like older data, because like even if you add in one person, it's going to change these numbers. So, like, I don't know if that's it. 2 to 5% is pretty good. I don't know. And general population rate, violent crimes may vary. U.S. homicide rate, 6. Poor. Okay, here a transgender rate. It's limited. People don't really know. And let's see what this says. Mass shootings as well. Less than 0.1%. And they account for less than 0.1% of mass shootings. Violent offending victimization. Oh, my God. So... this is it. Schizophrenic asks the same thing about schizophrenic people, just to get a comparison in the anti-schizo narrative. I've never tried to hurt someone willingly, yeah, and I'm fucking crazy. There's a massively weighted expected outcome of more violence than trans here. Yeah, and so I think that, like, really, you have to look at a spectrum of this. Because there's some people that are crazy, but there's other people that are violent and crazy. Like, and that's the issue. And the problem is, and I've said this before, do you remember what I said about people that were crazy on social media, and we need to get on top of these people? So you're wrong? No, I'm not wrong. I said it's a massive, like a fractional minority that's less than 0.1%, and I'm right about that. So that's what I've said. I mean, I've said this the entire time. And so anyway, can you remove gang violence from the stats, make it apples to bananas? I don't know how really to do that. I mean, like gang violence or anything else, I have no idea. And so, yeah, all women are crazy, but not all are violent. Yes, definitely. And 2 to 5% equals 1%. No, that's not what the number was. So lifetime violent conviction rate, Western average is 1 to 3%. This is like not really that much more. It's about the same, but like lifetime conviction rates, and this is also for convictions versus also an average. There's a lot more to it than that. And so it looks like he served in the Navy as well. He served in the Navy. Okay, this is going to be the craziest character creator I've ever done. This is it. This is crazy character creator. All right, so anyway, now it all checks out? Yeah, sure. You're forgetting that a lot of this is violence and not just reported because they're trans. Misidentifying can turn them into a rage and lead them into violent crime. Police let them go scot-free in a lot of Western countries. And that's basically what I think the issue is that by treating some of these people with kid gloves and not trying to hold them accountable for being violent, aggressive, or hostile, or advocating for violence, I think that what we've done is we have allowed these people to be violent, to be aggressive, and to go out and push this stuff for really no reason. And I think that's the main problem of what's going on here, is that you have these people that, you know, very clearly these are people that are mentally ill that need help. And instead of giving them the help they need, you're letting them run wild and they're killing people. That's the issue. And so we cultivated it? Yes, exactly. And I have to add tattoos? Oh, yeah. Well, I already had the tattoos, right? Add drives muscle cars. Well, I don't know if that's his car. He's just posing next to it, right? So, wait, is this the GameStop Miami guy? No, this is something else. This is a new person, etc., right? But, like, overall, I think this is really it's a continual and very annoying thing of what's happening, right? I mean, like, I would say, overall, this kind of stuff is just getting worse. And I think that the problem is that people are unwilling to look at, for example, like individuals that have like actual mental problems and actually assign these mental problems to them because they're worried about it looking bad. And the best thing that we can possibly do, this is my opinion, is we need to we need to, reopen the asylums. That's what we need to do. We've got to reopen the asylums. We've got to get these crazy people, and we've got to get them. We got to round them up, and we got to put them in the asylums. That is the main problem, is we have these nutballs running around, and they're running wild. And they should not be running wild. Absolutely not. Sub says society is enabling and encouraging a mental disorder. I think that it's okay. Like, as I said, if you... I feel like there is very clearly a spectrum of this. Now, if you don't support trans and you don't agree with it or you don't think that, I don't really care. Like, I don't give a shit. And, like, just for the record, I don't think a man can become a woman. I don't think a woman can become a man. Not by any sort of fundamental design, right? Like, you can't change your chromosomes. You can't change your biology. Like, it just doesn't happen. So it does make sense. Well, yeah, you can't do it. Like, you can't change your age. You can't change your gender. You can't change your race. You just can't do these things. Like, I mean, obviously that's the case. Now, you can do things that will, you know, make you look more like another race or make you look more like you're younger or older, or you can do things that make you look like you're a man or a woman, but you can't do that. Let's see here if I can find this. Are you not scared of getting canceled by saying that? Why would I get canceled for that? This is what everybody thinks. Like, everybody thinks this. It's not... This is the problem, is that what I'm saying is what I think a vast, gigantic, huge amount of people in the world think, but they are afraid to say it. People are afraid of saying this because they don't want to get the pushback and the blowback from crazies and, you know, like virtue signalers and this stuff. No, it's not it isn't getting canceled. It's just the truth. Like, everybody knows this. Yeah, it's just about repeating it. Exactly. It's just science. Like, I don't know what else you can say. I mean, that doesn't mean you can't treat these people with compassion. That doesn't mean you can't be polite to them. But yes, obviously you can't completely change yourself from one gender to another. You can present as another gender. People can see you as another gender. But just because somebody sees you as another gender, if you paint a pigeon black, it doesn't make it a crow. Like, that's it. It's just, that's the way birds work. That's the way everything works. You can't paint stripes on a fucking horse and turn it into a zebra. That's not the way the world is. Even if it looks that way, it doesn't make it the same thing. So people don't want to hear that. I think that a lot of people do, if you want me to be honest. I think that a lot of people are tired. They are sick and fucking tired of being told that what is obvious and completely fucking plain English, common sense, right in front of you is somehow, oh, I don't know what this is. I'm sick and tired of... Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to get... This might be the best mod for infield. What is this? What is this shit? Give me a minute. See if I can find this. Oh my god! Okay, that's fucking insane. Wow. All right, that's a little bonus event, right? For the Emperor. Yeah, it's Gilberta. It is. And what is this? Is better narrative? Do we have to adjust our reality to theirs? Yes. And so... I'm not sure I would call a trans woman a man, though, and not a woman either. They might be male, but yet not a man. Well, they are a guy, right? I mean, like, your sex and your gender is defined at birth, and it can never be changed. That's it. This is definitive. Well, there are a handful of medical abnormalities. Like, you know, somebody's intersex, or, you know, they're born with some other type of deformity. But in the same way that if you asked a person how many arms is a human being born with, they would say 2. But then you say, oh, well, there's some people that are born with 3 arms or 1 arm or no arms. Would you go and say, oh, okay, well, now we don't know how many arms human beings are born with? No, they would still say 2. It's very obvious. So there's a norm with this, very obviously. I gotta be honest, bro, I'm sick of capitulating to the minority. I think that a lot of people are. And I think that also I can go to the dealer and just buy a car by saying I have the money. Yes, even if you listen, guys, even if you paint your Honda Civic like a Ferrari, it's still not gonna be a Ferrari. And I'll be right back. Give me 1 second, then we'll look at this a little bit more, okay? All right. I'm back. Give me a minute. Okay. So we got this going on, right? And I do think that there's a lot of dishonesty, right? In your estimation, how many mass shooters have been trans? Like 4 or 5, I think. Something like that. I mean, if I'm remembering correctly, it's such backwards logic. I had a dude argue bitterly with me because hermaphrodites exist. It means that nature intended to have more than 2 genders. Yeah, I mean, there's all, like, does nature intend for people to have cancer? Does nature intend for kids to be born with their organs outside of their body? Obviously not. Like, it's just, again, the problem that a lot of people have is that they don't actually think about their positions. They don't think about any of their opinions on anything. They just make up bullshit because it's what makes them feel good or what sounds good or what they think is socially acceptable. This is what I think would happen. I think that if the social culture, and this has already happened, right? Like, is that the social support of trans has already gone down dramatically. Like, if I compare, like, 2022, 2021 to now, and 2020, and I look at that versus now, I think the support for trans is probably less than 20% of what it was. So, like, if it was, like, let's say 500, now it's 100. If it was 100, now it's 20. And I think even that might be an overestimation. And I think that even then, a lot of the support now is astroturfed. I think the truth is, and there have even been studies about this that people have done, that, let me see if I can pull this up and show it. It'll take me a second, but this is a recent poll that a lot of people actually hide their real values about these topics, and they don't say what their real opinion is because they don't want to have the pushback, and they want to say what's socially acceptable. And I think that's the main issue that, you know, we really have, is that a lot of these people are just simply, yeah, here we go. 78% of students told us they self-censor on their beliefs surrounding gender identity. 78%. That is insane. That is absolutely why, though? Because they're worried. Here's the reason why. And so I want you guys to understand this, that this is the vast majority. 78% is enough of a percentage in Congress to change the Constitution. You've got to keep that in mind. The left requires silence, yes. And the reason why it's so high, and this is the reason why I don't, like, this is the reason why a lot of, like, for example, like, I have a lot of people that watch my content, is because whenever I'm saying this stuff, there is a gigantic, massive, unspoken majority of people that think this stuff, that are afraid to say it because they don't want the pushback from these violent extremists that will go through every form of character assassination possible in order to get you to stop from telling the truth. That's really what it is. Why people are scared of being called transphobic or racist. Exactly. People are afraid. They are afraid. And the problem is that the moment that these people, like, are no longer afraid, there is going to be a massive backlash to this. And I think that every trans shooting that happens brings us closer to that. And I think that trying to force the entire population into playing along with a, you know, like, you have to observe this person's gender, you have to use these pronouns, you have to talk like this, they have to use these bathrooms. And if you even so much as question this, you get your total life destroyed, and they, you know, basically destroy your reputation and try to do everything that they can to harm you as an individual. And that's it. All my friends in college don't like the pronouns movement, but they choose to say nothing because it's annoying to deal with irrational people. Exactly. Hypothetically, if science found a way to completely transform someone into a female completely, uterus and give birth, would you accept them as female? Yeah, sure. Of course. Yeah, I mean, if it's the same as, like, yeah, I mean, of course. Like, I mean, like, theoretically, like, if you could change somebody's DNA, it's a good question. Well, I don't know why. They still aren't? Well, why aren't they? Why not? Yeah, why not? Like, if you could theoretically change somebody's DNA to make them female, why would they not be female? Your mind doesn't change? People's minds change all the time. Who's to say it can't change their brain too? Yeah, I don't know. They weren't born a woman, so you have to be born a woman in order to be a woman. I don't know. That's not how I would see it, right? I mean, that's not how I see it. But you know, like, here's the question. Here's the important question. Everybody knows where this is going. Would you have sex with, if they could completely change on every single level, and this person was born? No, we're gonna go all the way, all right? No, we're going all the way. Would you have sex with someone who was born a man, who went through a procedure to change by every cell, every chromosome, every atom, and every single piece of their DNA into a woman, and they were hot as fuck? Like, they look like Sydney Sweeney or something like that, or whoever you think is really hot. Would you have sex with that person? Man, boys, this is down to the wire. Oh my God. Kant? Okay, well, we'll give it a little bit longer. Give people a minute or two to vote if you guys want to vote on this. Fellas are down bad. And like, this chick, by the way, it could be like whatever porn star you think is the hottest, whatever video game character you think is the hottest, as long as it's not like a furry or something. It's like a human being, imagine that. You know, if she looks like Shadowheart from fucking Baldur's Gate 3, she looks like Eve from Stellar Blade, literally the exact same carbon copy. Literally down to a fucking, you know, microscopic level. Link? Okay, yeah, Carlock? No, she's red and shit. Absolutely not. Tifa from Final Fantasy. Yes, exactly. Lara Croft. Cammy from, I feel like the more I'm naming out, the higher the percentage for yes goes. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I don't want to influence it anymore. But anyway, this is the point that I was making, right? Is that the overwhelming majority of people hide their power level with what they really think about gender identity, because the people that push gender identity, you know, gender identity politics are so vitriolic and aggressive that they don't want to deal with it. But you can see here that, you know, personally, privately, a lot of people are completely and totally against this. And I think that's the difference. Dude, the clip is going to go so hard. I'm just telling you the truth, right? That's it. Epstein promised us genetics 10,000 years ago. If you're straight, if you sucked a dick, would it make them not gay? It depends on who it is. So I think, what's this here? I think greatest sentence ever. Do you speak to Bridget Macron? No, guys, absolutely not. And gender bender hentai, is that gay? I mean, I think it's, if you're changing your gender, I don't know. It depends, right? But like, either way, let me go back to what we were originally talking about, okay? We went on a little bit of a of an exciting little event, but overall, I feel like this is just going to continue. Is that the more that people try to avoid talking about the very clear and obvious issue of this happening, the more people will push the idea of it. And I think that the best solution for how to handle this is to look at these people that are trans and are mentally ill. And I think that you need to treat these people like they are victims. Because when these people have a mental disorder and there's something wrong with them, that person now needs to be treated and taken care of because they're mentally insane. It doesn't matter whether they're trans or not. That's secondary. The fact is that they're mentally fucking ill and they're crazy. Don't forget to generate the image. You're right. We are going to generate the shooter profile of this person. Here's the list. Gay. Transgender, male to female. Loves Trump. Probably a furry. Sexually attracted to Nick Fuentes. Hates Jews. Nazi tattoo. Thumb fetish. Father of 6. Colored hair. Gun owner. Second Amendment fan. Divorced. InfoWars enjoyer. Narcissistic. 56 years old, transitioned 10 years ago, wants Thomas Massey to run for president, thinks Islam might be right about women, and served in the Navy. Oh, white. Okay. Generate a person with all these characteristics. Yeah, we're going to do this off screen. It's doing it. Oh my god. Wow. Well, there it is. Wait, why did it just generate a photo of me? Wait, what? What happened? Holy crap. Oh my god. And so anyway, add steroid use to this? Yes. And add body weight. Yes, definitely. Oh my god. So there we go, guys. Alternate identity. And so, anyway, this is what's happened. Rhode Island. I'll see if there's any more information about this that's worth looking at. But, I'll see if there's any more from the profile or not. Let me see if I can find it. No, this is some other random person that killed a frog. This is, god damn it. This is more of some other random thing. Where is it here? I'll pull it again. And where the fuck did it go? Yep, here's some more of this. Add it to the list. All these, wait, wow. Holy shit. God damn. That's a lot of it. I know you said percentage of trans shooters is very low, but don't they have like a 10x suicide rate than straight people? I actually don't know, if you want me to be honest. I'm not even sure about that. I know they have a high suicide rate, but I'm not sure if it's that high. That seems like extremely ridiculously high. So, yeah, they do. I mean, I don't know. That's scary. I mean, here's my outlook on that. Trans suicide rate versus general suicide rate. USA. 20, yeah, let's just say, yeah, let's see this. $14 versus, where's the percentage here? 12 times more likely. 18 times more likely. Holy fucking shit. Yeah, that's really high. That's insanely fucking high. I heard it was like 42% or something like that. I didn't know it was that bad. And anyway, this is the way I see it, right? Is that whenever I see this, I think that there's a lot of extra variables. So, like, for example, a lot of trans people aren't accepted in society, and they're treated really badly in society. So when they're being treated really badly in society, and in some cases they're being collectively bullied and treated horribly, like, is that going to increase the suicide rate? So what I'm saying is that whenever they have a very high suicide rate, is this something that's intrinsic to them being trans, or is it also because of the way society treats them because they're trans? And I think the real answer is probably both, but it's probably not one or the other. It's probably a mixture. So yeah. And look at suicidal ideation. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, a lot of people feel that way. I mean, it doesn't really make a huge difference. So for high depression rates, yeah, definitely. Psychologists prey on them? Maybe. And what's the bullying rate for fat people in the United States? Probably about 100%, I would say. So, yeah, they need someone to love, I guess. People need to stop hating so much. They need to start loving ourselves and others. Well, here's the problem, is that so many people get caught up in the idea of whether a person is trans or, you know, like gay or non-binary or whatever, that we miss, I think, the main core problem. And the core problem is that you have some of these people that are running around with massive, undiagnosed mental disorders that are so profound and so bad, and nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about the fact that we have these nutballs running around causing problems everywhere, and nobody does anything about it. Like if you go, for example, if you go on a street corner and you see a crazy person yelling, I'm sorry, but we should just go and have the authorities get that person and put them in a mental institution. That's what we should do. And I don't want to have crazy people running around yelling, causing problems. I don't want to have this crazy shit happen at all. So the big issue of what this is, they're insane instead of getting treatment, they get their delusions indulged. Yeah, I think people are afraid of calling it out because they don't want to be seen as transphobic. And so instead of actually getting these people that are crazy the help they need, what happens instead of that is that people just continue reaffirming it and then turning a blind eye to it. And eventually people like this fly off the fucking handle and they're violent. And that's the issue, is that you let these people go and do this and they're going to go out and shoot people. Are right-wingers treated in academia? Does it hurt their suicidal rate? But right-wingers aren't mentally ill? I mean, I don't know. I have no idea about that. I mean, in academia, I have no clue. What kind of help should they need? I think that if you're the kind of person that is like mentally deranged, you need to just be, and I'm going to be honest, this is going to sound like it's not a very empathetic take, which is ironic considering I'm the most empathetic streamer. I don't really care. I don't. It doesn't really matter to me what help somebody needs. The most important thing to me is taking a person like that and removing them from the public. Because the people that I look out for and the people that I care about are the people that are, you know, mentally of sound mind. People that are good actors. People that are trying to just go about their day and live their life and be happy. And those are the people that I want to make sure that their lives are in the best case possible. And if that takes removing a small subset of people that are crazy, then that's the easiest decision I could make in my life. It's such an easy decision. Their needs come second. Yeah, exactly. It's legally impossible to institutionalize them. It requires 60 votes in the Senate or the Supreme Court reinterpretations. Well, then just put people on the Supreme Court that'll reinterpret it. It's simple. Like, yeah, I mean, it shouldn't happen overnight, but I feel like very clearly something like this needs to happen. Don't tell them about per capita. Well, what do you mean by per capita? Don't you have some sort of bias there, like having someone you care about with those issues? I'm confused. Don't you have a... I'll pull you up real quick, and we'll read this. Sorry, what is this? What is the hypocrisy here? Or the, what is this? I'm confused. No, you're not going to get banned, or at least probably not. I don't think see us getting fixed until people are fed up enough. I think a lot of people are not fed up enough either. I think that's the main issue. And also people are afraid to talk about this issue. That's the main problem. It's 20 minutes ago? Yeah, it could be so. Oh, that was about the poll? Okay, I see that. But like having someone you care about with those issues, I think that if you care about a person with these issues, you should also care about everybody else that you know that doesn't have those issues. So for example, like if you have a family of people and one person is crazy and they could fly off the handle and maybe kill their family or something like that, and everybody else isn't, I would say you still should make the right decision for the most people and then, you know, institutionalize that person. Does it make sense to me? Exactly. I would want a family member put in a psych ward if they were going insane and became a danger to themselves and others. Yeah, it's like if you really care about this family member or something like that, you would want to do everything that you can to protect this person. Because if this person does fly off the handle and hurt somebody, that means that that person is going to now be put in jail and their life is going to effectively be over. So, yeah, it's like as always, it's a trolley problem. Anyone who's a drug addict in the family knows this? Yeah, I think so, too. I think there's a lot of examples of this. And let's let all the alcoholics who kill people with their cars go free because they have a disease. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like everybody makes this decision with alcoholics. I agree. It's just way harder. So you would probably care about the solution more. Well, you have to make decisions sometimes that are for the best interests of most people rather than the people that you care about. There's a reason why judges recuse themselves and you don't have people that are the family of the victim on the jury for a trial. Like, I mean, you don't want to have people that are personally invested in something to be making the decisions for what should happen with it because they're going to be biased. Like, it's just very common sense, right? That's like, it's like having all the rich people vote on taxes for the rich people and all the poor people vote on taxes for the rich people. I wonder what's going to happen, right? So it's just people always work in their self-interest, but it doesn't mean that you should go and, allow that to take action over it, right? Activists rarely recuse themselves. I know that. That's because they're activists. So since 2018, there have been multiple shootings at the hands of transgenders. What is this here? Wait, what?
Literally in my driveway right now.
Received a call from his frightened daughter claiming that someone was trying to break in the house.
Help me, please.
When he arrived, he discovered a deranged man wearing...
That's too tight! Help! Help me, please!
Oh my god.
That hurts!
It's like some people that do this are mentally ill. They are. They're crazy. They're nutballs.
Help me, please! That hurts!
Yeah, they're nuts. Like you're not doing them any favor by any favors by not institutionalizing them. Nope. Turn it down.
Help me! I'm not resisting! That hurts!
Yeah, it's just a nutball, man. It is. It's a straitjacket time. Yeah, people like this belong in a straitjacket in a padded room. And it's for their own best interest. It's just sad. What's sad, here's what's really sad to me about it. What's really sad to me about it is that people think that it's okay. That's the main problem that I have, is that they think that it's okay to do this, and they think that it's a better and more, what do you call it? It is a more morally consistent thing to do to let people like this go out into the wild and cause themselves to ruin their own lives. That's the real reason why. Those are the people that I dislike the most about this topic.